Hi there, everybody. I'm Rob Harrell, and I'm the author of the book Wink. Um, and I just wanted to first off say thanks for inviting me to be part of this. I love anything about reading. I'm a huge reader. I support it in all ways, not just reading my books, but reading in general. I saw that the theme this year is Find Your Spark, and I thought first I'd just tell you a real quick story about how I got into reading. Probably not the way my parents would have preferred, but it worked. Back when I was a kid, there was a magazine called Mad Magazine. It's still around in some form, but it was really popular back then. And Mad Magazine was full of cartoons, sort of off-color jokes, maybe a little bit risque in places, but also just funny. Some of them were a little bit like potty humor kind of stuff, but I absolutely loved that magazine. I got a hold of it and I could not stop. So I bought every issue of Mad Magazine when it come out, and I would pour through them and read them over and over. And it also got me into cartooning because some of the best cartoonists in the world worked on that magazine at the time. But it really did. It was sort of the spark that lit the fire of me being a reader, I think. I just learned to appreciate the joy of sitting down and poring over this thing and loving every bit of it and finding which parts I like the best and which parts, I really looked forward to each month. So Mad Magazine was my spark, and it definitely led to lots more reading. And eventually I spread out and I read all kinds of things. So that's my spark story, I guess. But I thought, since we have a little time left on this video, one of the suggestions was that I read a little bit of Wink, since it's Read Aloud Day, and I wanted to just read you the first chapter. It's kind of a quick way to get you into the book Wink, which Wink is basically about this kid, Ross, who's he's about to go into 7th grade, and he finds out that he has a rare form of eye cancer. And he's a guy who really likes to just kind of blend into the background. He doesn't want too many people paying attention to him. He'd like to be sort of invisible if he could. But unfortunately now he's the sick kid, and he comes into school and everybody knows about it. And on top of that, because of his radiation treatments, they make him wear this big goofy cowboy hat. And it's based on treatments I had as an adult, but at school that would not be fun. And he has this gooey eye, and he starts losing his hair, loses his eyebrow, and starts losing his vision in his right eye. So he has a really tough time ahead of him. Fortunately, he has a really good sense of humor, and that's what the book is about, and how he uses his humor and his love of music, and he starts playing guitar. So there are some things that he does to help him get through this horrible experience. So it may sound like a really heavy book, but I guarantee you it's actually got a lot of humor in it. And most of that humor comes from inside Ross. That's sort of how he deals with this situation. So let me read to you here the first chapter. First chapter is Let's Get Radioactive. I'm lying on a steel table, all too aware of the giant ray gun pointed in my direction. It looks like one of those room-sized 5-ton laser things supervillains use in movies. The kind that they threaten to destroy the planet with. What music are you into, Ross? I'm pretty sure the radiation tech is just trying to distract me as he bolts me down. A hard plastic mesh mask over my face and neck hold me still. They molded it to my face yesterday, and the tech struggles to click it onto the table. He scrunches his nose, pushing. Oh, anything, whatever, I mumble through my teeth. The hardened mask doesn't let my chin move much. The headpiece locks in, and the tech, Frank, gives my shoulder a bump with his fist. Come on, man, if you're going to lie here for half an hour, you need some tunes. I've got all kinds. Name something you like. There are no wrong answers. I scan my brain. You could, can you just KZAQ? Frank stops and doubles over at the waist like he's been gut punched. He hangs there, talking to the floor. Okay, no wrong answers but that one. He straightens up and winces at me. Seriously? You like that top 40 garbage? It's what my parents have on all the time? So dorky. I try to look away casually, but my head won't budge. Frank stares before letting out an exaggerated sigh. Fine, but tomorrow tell me what you like, not what Mom and Dad like. He walks over and fiddles with an old-timey boombox on a high wall shelf next to a teetering stack of CDs and cassette tapes. Seriously? There must be a gazillion dollars worth of equipment in here, and they can't afford an MP3 player? I notice a bit of tattoo peeking out from the arm of Frank Scrubs. A lizard tail, maybe? Or a tentacle? Beyonce fills the room, and suddenly Frank is all business. I know we went over this yesterday, but let's review. He wraps his arms around his clipboard and begins, like he's done this 1,000 times. The gurney you're on is going to lift you up and move you into place. The treatment takes 25 minutes or so. Keep your limbs and naughty bits inside the ride at all times. Do not throw things at the radiation techs. Do not feed the radiation techs. Do not waggle your legs around like a synchronized swimmer. Do not pass go. Do not hum the Goo Goo Dolls, as I despise the Goo Goo Dolls. Frank steps aside to let another tech, Callie, I think, reach in and mold some blue clay over the bridge of my nose. She smiles at me and tells me it's to protect my good eye from the beam. Then she pats my chest. I hope I don't look as nervous as I feel, because I feel like a rabbit in a trap. My face is hot. Okay, now for the important part. Frank is back. When I tell you, you're gonna stare at the red X above you, the one we made over there by the big zapper yesterday. You'll see it when the machine slides you over. The mask prevents much of a nod, but he seems to catch it. Now don't move your eye off of that X, or your eye will explode into a million pieces like the Death Star, okay? I let out a little grunt. Frank puts his hand on my arm. I'm kidding, Russ. I mean, kind of. Don't look away from the X. Your eye won't explode, but you're dealing with your vision. Important stuff. So keep your eye on the X, or it could... Just keep your eye on the X and you'll be fine. Callie steps back in with a U-shaped attachment that looks like part of a kid's car seat. She fits it over my face and helps me slip the molded mouthpiece into my mouth. My teeth lock into it when I bite down, and she snaps the end of the U to the table. Ka-chunk. The table is attached to a huge mechanical arm like something out of Star Trek. My nose itches. I couldn't move my head if I had to, and something about that makes me all squirmy inside. I feel like a bug on a dissecting table. Frank and Callie look down at me. You good? Callie squeezes one of my sock-covered toes. Need a blanket? Nah, I'm good. Okay. She tucks a lock of hair behind her ear and gives me a friendly smile. Everybody smiles a lot here, probably because they can tell I'm freaking out. We'll be right around the corner. You'll do great. Frank winks. No sweat. You'll see. They walk off to my left, but I can't turn my head to follow them. The lights dim slowly as Gwen Stefani starts singing about bananas. I'll admit it, it's a little freaky being the only one in here with all this machinery, all this stuff. I close my eyes and let out a long breath. It shudders as it slowly comes out, which somehow makes my nerves go up another notch. All right, Frank's voice squawks through a tinny speaker. We're going to get started, Russ. Just relax and keep your eye on the red X. You're about to go for a ride. After a few seconds of silence, there are loud bangs and a revving sound. The entire room full of heavy machinery comes to life with beeping and whirring and what might be big fans powering up. Maybe things heat up when the radiation gets going? I have no idea. Then the gurney shudders and I begin to rise. Frank comes through the speaker again. Houston, we have liftoff. So that's just the beginning of Ross's journey, and you get some flashbacks to see how it all began, and you get to meet his friends and his classmates and go through some of the experiences that he goes through. But hopefully that's a good taste. I think it kind of starts the story off with a bang, so hopefully it's something that would interest you. Thank you again for having me. I think this is so cool. And you guys, happy reading. Keep reading. Enjoy reading. It's fun. It's awesome. It's like a vacation for your brain. So happy Read Aloud Day. Okay, thanks.